We invited Professor Walker because we are returning again to the theme of writers. This is the 11th year, as you may know. We had the first 4 lectures being given by writers. We went on to humanists in the form of then President Nelson Mandela, Bishop Tutu, Dr. Mamphela Ramphele. We went on to political leaders, and we had then President Thabo Mbeki, the Minister of Finance at the time, Trevor Manuel, and the Governor. And we returned to the series, and for the first time, we have a candidate from outside of the continent to give us the lecture.
In some ways, Steve Biko and I are definitely sister and brother in the ways that we see the world and our love of the world and our love of people. I learned that Bantu, part of his name, means he who loves or one who loves people. And that is true of me as well. He was a fearless writer and a fearless speaker. And this is always encouraging to me because I actually love fearlessness. To see that spirit in someone else, you know, it's like going through the world and there are days when you feel there must be nobody else on the planet like you. And then you open a book, maybe sometimes from 100 years ago, and you discover a spirit that is so much like yours, and you feel less alone. And I feel that way with Steve Biko. I think that, you know, here was someone who had such integrity that even toward the very end of his life, he was saying that he was such a whole being that he would fight for his existence, you know, to the very last bit of his energy. And this is very interesting because I come from, of course, I was born and raised in the Deep South in the United States, and we basically, through a movement of black consciousness and political activism, changed that apartheid there. So we thought of our changing of it as being always nonviolent because that was the way that we thought we could do it. So here is someone who doesn't seem to think about that for himself personally. I mean, he may think about it as a strategy and for the masses, but he accepts that he, in his own humanity, he is someone who will fight back. And this adds a ray, another ray of color to the spectrum of resistance, which I think is really worth looking at and studying. And it doesn't mean you have to actually choose it as your own path, but we should never exclude it, because to do that is to deny an essential part of our humanity. So I love that about him. I really, you know, I myself am a pacifist and nonviolent and all of those things, but I think that in this love of people and in this hope for humanity's advancement, we would do well to always acknowledge that we have everything in us. We have it all. It's just a matter of how we choose to use it.